Thanks, Richard. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Ben Winter. I'm an agronomist. I work for Stuart Grigg Ag Hort Consulting. So you just heard Richard make a pretty strong use case for implementing a website for horticulture. So based on that and based on what Richard's found, I went out and did what I can only assume most school-age children do. Jumped on Google, plugged in the terms Australian horticulture and horticulture jobs, and then listed what's come up there. I've cherry-picked the results a little bit. There's a few duplications and things that aren't quite showing up there. So you just have to bear with me, and I haven't gone past the first page of results because I'm assuming that most people don't do that. I don't do that, so I'm assuming others don't do it. So what have we got? We've got the How website, which, forgive me, is pretty boring and uninteresting if you're not already in the industry. If that's the first result that comes up, you go on that, it's like, oh, well, why am I here? Like, what's this? Yeah. So there's that one. Below that, there's the Australian Institute of Horticulture. Again, pretty good if you're already in the industry, but it's not very useful if you're just starting out and you want some useful information about what it is our industry can offer. The DAF website, it's pretty good if you want some stats about GDP and things we do, what we grow, how much of it. But again, not very interesting if you're just getting started out. The Australian Society of Horticultural Science website, it's pretty similar to the Australian Institute of Horticulture, and the Australia.gov site is just pretty much a glorified link to the help page. So if we change it up and we Google horticulture jobs, 6 out of the 7 results there are just generic job seeker websites that are on the internet just to make money based on corporate jobs, any jobs that are listed up there. But there is one link there that is for the Royal Botanic Gardens of Melbourne if you want a job working in the gardens in town there. Before I move on, I would just like to acknowledge 2 websites that I do think are pretty good. That's the Agri-Food Skills website. They've done a really good job of stringing that together. I guess that covers the whole of agriculture, but it's pretty good. And there's another one called Career Harvest, which has been established by let me get this right, the Australian Agricultural Chancellors Association, which contains a lot of information about internships if you're doing a degree. So, again, bear with me, not really an apples to apples comparison, but if we look at what the mining industry is doing with similar things. So again, jumped on Google, Googled Australian mining. The first website is a dedicated website for careers information, industry information. I guess it's probably more useful if you are already in the industry. But the second and fourth result are dedicated websites that have been established purely to give career information to school leavers and the wider community in general. Mining, and then if you Google mining jobs, again, 3 out of the 5 results that come up there are dedicated websites that provide really interesting career information. I would have loved to have shown you some of these websites today, but I don't have enough time. I have included links to this information in the handouts that you would have possibly gotten on the way in, and if you haven't, grab one on the way out, please. You're just standing there with Cynthia and Jill. So we've covered that. So what can we do going forward? Well, we think we can create a website that outlines the benefits of horticulture, lists our industry achievements, our innovations, and raves about our technology. We can list current career opportunities available. We can detail the career pathways for school students, young people, adults, and we can provide career case studies similar to what Mandy's presented us this afternoon. We can place emphasis on the varying levels of skill that you need to get into hort, so that you can start off unskilled, you can grab a trade, or you can do a bachelor degree. The screenshot that's on the screen at the moment is a screenshot of a mock website I've created over the last 2 months since our last residential in Cairns. Again, would have loved to have shown it to you today. I don't have enough time. I've put a link in the information package today, and I'd really appreciate it if you pick one of those up and took the time to jump on there and have a look at the sort of ideas that we are talking about. I guess my closing statement is just going to be, I'd like to think that I know this is an issue because we spent a bit of time in Parliament a little bit earlier this week. 3 out of the 4 meetings, we all said the same thing. We've got a bit of an image problem, and what can we do going forward? So this is our suggestion of what we can do to promote the vegetable industry and I guess horticulture in general. That's it for me. I'll pass over to Dwayne now, but thanks very much.